Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to deal with Computer Studies paper 3, which is the practical WAEC 2019. Okay, so we're dealing with the question 1. I actually did an old video of question 2 and 3, but I didn't do question 1, so this is me trying to make up for the old one. Okay, so let's go straight to the question. It says using a word processing application. So in this case, we can use Microsoft Word. Yeah. Create a visiting card for a system administrator of a software company using the following specifications. Okay. So it's going to be a card of the size 3.5 by 2 inches. Okay. So I am assuming that you would have had your Microsoft Word already launched. So but there's something I want us to do here. Each time you start off with this, please, it is important for you to note that from the cover page of the question paper, you were asked to create a folder on the desktop. Yeah, so it is very important for you to create a folder in the name that you've been instructed to. And then the other thing I want us to do here is to save this file. Okay, because that should be the first thing you need to do. So usually they would drop the instruction at the end here. So usually they would drop that instruction at the end here. This is save the file with your full name created on the desktop, so with your full name. Okay. Now note that the name you use in saving the file really matters, because they do not ask for an evidence to confirm how the name was saved. Okay. You are only going to print and drop it. So the only evidence that you have that this is your work will be your name and your index number showing at the footer. Okay, so let's just go back and save this work. Very important. So I'm just going to do Ctrl S, and it's expected that you would have a folder already. Okay, remember, so this is the folder I created on the desktop with some other works that I've done. So I'm just going to drop it there. Okay, so you use your name. Okay, so in case you did another question that just said you should use your name, it is important for you to separate it, assuming it is still a Microsoft Word document. But if it is not, then you are free to just use your name, as the file type would mean that the files will not be the same and you won't have an issue of duplicate name. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this with my name. Okay, and then I can save. All right, now since we've gotten that out of the way, we now need to go back to the work. The size of the card is this. So the quickest way to have things that have sizes that don't have exactly the same size as the default size of the document that you're using is to use a text box. Okay, so I'll go to insert, go to this, so you can shapes. So you can either use the text box or you can use the rectangle too. Okay, so this will help you to size it properly. So I'll click on that, and then I'll click, hold and drag, click, hold and drag. So once I do this, I can now resize it. Okay, so once you click, hold and drag, you'll be sent to the shape format tab automatically. So when you are here, you need to take note of this: 3.5 by 2 inches. Now by default, you know, the normal way is that the width comes first before the height. Okay, width by height. Okay, so I am going to come here now. If you take note, this is in cm. Okay, this is in cm, not in inches. So I don't want to go through the stress of changing the unit here. Okay, so but there is a way that we can do it that will make the whole work a lot easier for us. So the width is this one. You see this measurement here, that's the width. This longer one is the height. So 3 by 2. So I will do 3 by 2 inches. So now to put the inches, I will hold my shift key down and press the quotation mark, the double quotation mark. Yeah, so once I do that, I press enter. Now watch, automatically it will convert it to the cm equivalent. That's what you have there. Okay, so we will do the same thing for the height, 2 inches as well. Okay, and then I'll press enter, and that is what we have here. Now let us go back to the question. So here they used height by width, and then here they use width by height. So anyone you want to use, it's okay, but I like to go by the standard default. Okay, so so the second option is the one that looks like this. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's proceed. You say office and residential address separated by a line. So that means you need an office address here, and then you need a line. So the usual way I like to draw my line is press my shift button, and then I'll press the underscore up to this point, so I don't have to do it all the way. Okay, so once I create a line like that, I just press enter. Once I press enter, the MS Word is going to help me to complete the line. Yeah, and then I need residential address. I believe that's what the question says, residential address. Okay, so that is that. Okay, so let's put in any address of our choice. Let me use any address. You are free to use any address of your choice since the addresses were not specified. We're done with that part. So this question says, this part says the card should be copied in 3 places on the same page. Okay, so I wouldn't want to do this right away because there are other things we need to do, so that once we're done doing it on one card, we can duplicate it into 2 more cards. Yeah, so let's skip number C. Please remember we need to come back to it later. So let's go to number D. Says note that, okay, the background color must be grayscale. Okay, grayscale. So you click on the line there to select the text box itself, and then still under the shape format here, you would see fill. Okay, so fill is the one that will give you the shade that you need. Now they didn't specify what shades to use, so you're free to use any of these shades. Any of these shades will work. You want something darker, you want something lighter, okay, it will work. Yeah, so let me just pick this. Okay, let's move on to the next. And then the next part says the card should be in shadow style. So let's go back again and make it to be in shadow style. So we click on the text box again just by clicking on the line there. Okay, and then you go to effect. Under shape effect, you see shadow, so you're free to pick any of them. Okay, so I can choose this one. Okay, so that's it. So you see that shadow there, you see the shadow somewhere there, so that's what exactly the question requires of you. Okay, so what's the next thing? Okay, so you should have a title, visitor. Okay, and the title must be in uppercase. So let's come back here, and then up at the top there, we just press enter, and then take the cursor up, and then type visitor in uppercase. Visitor, you say highlight in gray 25%. Okay, font size is 10, font type is Georgia. So let's do all of that at once. Select it. To be able to change the highlight of this text, you need to go back to home, and then you see here, good, it's called text highlight, I believe. Let me look at it again. Yeah, text highlight color. So they say 25, so this is 25, and then that's 50, you see. So let's use this. So if peradventure, you know, in the first time you use the same shade for the text box and this the same, so you need to go back and change this, because this can be tweaked a bit, but this is supposed to remain the way you were instructed. Yeah. Okay, so let's proceed. Font size is what again? I forgot that one. 10 point, font type Georgia, 10 point Georgia. Okay, choose 10 and then Georgia. There you are. Okay. No, let me go back. Sorry, I didn't select this at first. Okay, 10 and then Georgia. Aha, good. Okay, so let's go back to the question. So it looks like we're done with this one. Okay, it looks like we're done with this one. All right. Although we were not told to centralize this, but I think it will look a lot better if I did. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back. And then I don't think that the centralization would cause us any issues at all, as long as it maintains these very specifications here. All right. So the next thing would be office address, residential address. So this is the formatting. It should be 1.15 spacing, Cambria 7 point. So let's see if we can remember and do that all at once. 1.15 spacing, Cambria 7 points. Okay, so I'll just select this and 7 point, just type 7 there, because I don't think there'll be 7 there. Yeah, so you just type it, and then the spacing will be somewhere here. So that's the spacing. See, 1.15, and then you do the same thing with this, and then you change this to what, 7, and then Cambria, right? Cambria. I don't think I changed this to Cambria the first time. Let me go back again and be sure. Aha, you see? So please do well to check these things again. Okay, so it looks like we're done with that part, and that's it. We're done with this question. Okay, the next thing will be to insert a footer and then put in your full name and your index number. Your full name and your index number. Aha, remember, we skipped a part that says we should duplicate it into 3. Yeah, the card not be copied into 3. So a safe way sometimes to do these things is to get your pencil or your pen and tick the ones that you've attended to, so that when you think that you're done, you can go back to just quickly check and take note of any area that you've not ticked. That means you've not attended to that very part yet. Okay. All right. So let's duplicate it into 3. So how do we do that? I think I want to centralize everything here. I don't think it's going to be a problem if I do. Okay, it's not going to be an issue if I do, as long as I'm still following the instructions that's given. Even if I add an extra thing, it won't be a problem. Okay, so I'll click on that, and then on the text box, and then I'll do Control D, and do Control D again. Okay, so I can drop this here and drop this there. Okay, so if I feel that this is getting too close to the edge, I can move this a little bit. And equally move this a little bit. So that will be it. Okay, so let's go to the footer to put in our name and the index number. I believe that's the instruction, name and index number. Okay, so to go to the footer, you just come towards the bottom and double click. Okay, that's like the quickest way that you can use to achieve that. Double click, ting ting, and you're there. So you put in your name, please, this your name is very important, according to how you were registered, in the same order to avoid confusions. Okay, and please take note of your reg number. Okay, I'm just dropping any number. Okay, but that's not a real one though, so please be careful. Make sure you get this through correct. Even if you fill every other thing, don't fill this one. Okay, so to leave this footer place, you need to come to the body and double click as well, so you're out. So please, I have not been saving this work. Oh, I'm sorry. Please remember to always save progressively as you continue. You know why? In case anything happens to your system, you don't get to cry, my lord. Okay, so I think we're done with this question. Okay, so you can go ahead to print and give your job to your supervisor. Okay, so in case you don't know how to print, you do Control P. Control P, and then Control V. Okay, so you do Control P, and then Control V. Okay, so in case you don't know how to print, you do Control P, and then Control V. Okay, so in case you don't know how to print, you do Control P, and then Control V. Okay, so in case you don't know how to print, you do Control P, and then Control V. Okay, so in case you don't know how to print, you do Control P, and then Control V. Okay, so in case you don't know how to print, you do Control P, and then Control V. Okay, so in case you don't know how to print, you do Control P, and then Control V. Okay, so in case you don't know how to print, you do Control P, and then Control V. Okay, so in case you don't know how to print, you do Control P, and then Control V. Okay, so in case you don't know how to print, you do Control P, and then Control V. Okay, so in case you don't know how to print, you do Control P, and then Control V. Okay, so in case you don't know how to pr Control P will help you with the printing, and then you get to choose whatever printer that you've been asked to use. Okay, you choose the printer, and then you just need one copy and you print and you're good to go. So that's the way it works. So now you see the footer here. Okay, so this will differentiate your work from every other person's work out there. Okay, so if there's any particular area you want me to look at, please do well to let me know. Drop a comment. If you think there's a thing or two I didn't do well, please do well to let me know. Okay, all right, so please do well to like, do well to share to your friends who need this video. Okay, do well to subscribe so that when next I drop a video, you'll be the first to know. Okay, I'll see you guys again in the next video. Thank you.